Welcome, disciples, to another Gman Division 4A recap. And no, it's the kids again, damn, that's killing the mood. Oh well, welcome everybody to the Division 4A recap for week 5. And let's jump right into our schedule for this week. We had some interesting games, we had some less interesting games, but let's start with the Reds on a Stick versus the Velicas Ass Kickers. And here we already can say it's wonderful, wonderful to see. The first point for the Reds on a Stick, and they got high host Chitter as the MVP. The loner, because you can't give shitsaus too much, I guess. A point is enough. You don't get MVP on any of your normal players. And on the other hand, we have Kikito El Morenito as the MVP for the Velicas Ass Kickers, because he was the last to level, and now the Velicas Ass Kickers are the second team in the league with only leveled players. So I was interested in how the Reds on a Stick managed to get their first point. So I'm going into a little bit of a detailed recapitulation of what happened in this game. We started out with a wizard, a bribe, a babe, and 3 loners because, yeah, inducements galore. And 2-2 is what happens when your edgy 5 sure hands goat does not pick up the ball on turn 1, and you then get a blitz against you, and the Reds managed to badly hurt Theocles, the coach himself. So by turn 6, both teams were down 2 players, but the Reds were up 2-0 in touchdowns. Yes, by turn 6 already. Both teams used the rerolls at an alarming rate, I have to say. They went through it like crazy. They had nothing left after half of each half, I would say. Yeah, so 2-0 at turn 6, but afterwards the luck changed. In the second half, it already began with the Reds outnumbered 9-11. And turn 9 attack on the ball carrier saw the ball land in the hands of the blitzing Chaos Warrior Gannicus. The wizard took care of that, but some heavy hits and enthusiastic fouling later, the 4 Reds left on the field could not avert a turn 13 and later a turn 16 touchdown. And I have to say, for the amount of armor breaks, only getting a niggle on the 2 heads gutter runner Orlando on a stick and 1 armor busted Lino with 5 badly hurts, that's a very good result for the Reds on a Stick. And that's despite only having 39% armor success. And also very, very impressive by the Velicas Ass Kickers that they managed to land 64 blocks when most of the opposition is not on the field anymore. So most of the Reds were gone after 1 half and 2-3 turns, and still managing 64 blocks. That's a lot. So they got all the blocks they could get, and also some passing play. You see here 18 yards passing. That's meters, by the way. That's very, very nice, and I love to see some chaos passing play, especially with your edgy 5 goat. Yeah, SPP galore. You see here we have our 16 on the side of the Reds on a Stick, and we have 6, 9, 11, 16 plus 9s and are 25. Am I correct in this? 25 SPP for the Velicas Ass Kickers. Yes, despite all these SPP, Kikito El Morenito, the one guy who got the MVP, was the only one to level. And as we can see, Theocles, just because you were injured in the game does not mean you can't level up your Beastman. I would guess it's something amazing if you are unsure about what to do. Like strength up? No, you would take that. Probably a movement up. And you're debating whether to take it or not. Yeah. Or you decide to go for something completely different because it's the last guy you have. Anyway, I can't tell you what to do as long as I don't know the dice roll, and I won't tell you what to do. I'm just here recapping. I don't give advice. What would that be? No. Next up, we have the Bootleg All-Stars against Altov Acrobata, and the Kislev reigned supreme in this one, despite having their armor broken 26 times. But only 3 injuries, so that's an abysmal showing for the goblins. While the Kislev dice were very hot, which is very hot, nice for things like going for it, bad for armor. Yeah, we have MVPs for Border Fistbake for throwing twice as many blocks as receiving blocks, which is big leagues territory for goblins. And also because we are again rehashing results from previous weeks, because all those 15 SPP are from MVPs. And we see this rehashing going on with Corleone again, who again left Bonehead at home, but on the other hand spent more time on the ground than on his feet. Yeah, that's bear for you. It's going strongly towards winter, so he's in his... I'm not quite sure what it is in English. It's winter sleep in German. Huh. Ah, I know that. Now it's hibernation. He's going into hibernation. There we have it. Yeah. Otherwise, what is there to say? Ripoff was very well behaved, the troll again, with only one of the really stupids. On the other hand, Aspel Blowhammer, not so much. And on the side of Altov Acrobata, Konstantin Kuragin managed to get an injury in before he himself succumbed to the Goblin Onslaught. And that means he's the only one who got a level up from this one. And one day I will remember where everyone is. And here we see the killer now has tackle. Now he's really the killer menace he wants to be as a lineman. Once again, want to reiterate, as a lineman. Yep. Anyway, this is a killer. This one is a very, very nice sacker. So why do you have positionals? I don't know, because you get guard on them. Okay, and guard on those as well. Anyway, also looking at the Bootleg All-Stars, we see another addition to the roster, Stiff Obermold. I'm not quite sure, but I think that means you only get to induce 1 star player if you have 15 players on your roster. And I don't think that's the way goblins are supposed to go, and goblins want to go, so cut him. Or cut Porter. Because she's a liability and costs 70k. I don't know. Look what you want. Do what you want. Next one in the schedule, we have the Umweltschützerinnen against the Baltimore Ravens, and May Buff got an MVP because both teams switched MVP committees, and she was utterly unremarkable, elating the Baltimore Raven judges. On the other hand, Ridlin, last week's winner of the Legendary Armor Award, got hurt more than badly, and prematurely leaving the field is always a big plus for the Amazon MVP committee. He also earned the title Lady Killer by eliminating a nice guard blotcher. Yeah, and like his legendary armor, he is now left at home because he's no longer on the team. Otherwise, 7 armor breaks, 5 armor breaks, 1 touchdown each. Well, we have a death here. Not much happened. And especially if you look at this, only 6 dodges by the Amazons. The 1 failure is just re-rolled into a success, so don't read too much into this one. How does this happen, you might ask? Well, look at these block dice. Yep, all of those are practically pushes. And what can we learn from this one? Well, this game shows that if you only have half of the witches, that means you only have half of the fun. Yeah, I went there. Anyway, let's just to make sure, Riddlin is now Riddler number 2. Riddler number 1 got a level up and got sacked because he was only strength 2. That gets you an MVP for the goblins and from the Umweltschützerinnen. But here we see Riddler number 2, just a lowly rookie lineman. Okay, on the other hand, Umweltschützerinnen themselves, they have 1 MNG. Is it just an MNG? Nope. Minus movement. Unfortunate. On your movement up player. But with a strength up and guard, well, it's a blitzer. She always can get guard again. But with a strength up, you still keep that one around. Very, very expensive strength for guard. Oh well. Yeah, we don't see a replacement for our for the thrower that got killed, the blotcher with the it's also guard, wasn't it? Yes, nice guard blotcher. Next up, we have Community Sport versus Beefheart and his Merrymen, and I tipped this one 1-1, and I should have known better because Sir Trevor McD is not able to play a game that does not go 2-0. Whether it is for him or his opponent, it doesn't matter. All his games so far went 2-0. And this time it went 2-0 to the Community Sports, and we have Kapow. Got the MVP for doing elf bullshit like dodging players, dodging fireballs, and even going for it. For an orc, that's risky business. On the other hand, Schnitzel von Krumm was the only one of Beefheart's black orcs to not have his armor broken. That sounds like nothing special for a black orc, but if you manage to get your armor broken as a black orc with only being blocked once or twice, and he did not, then we see this one did something right and all the other ones did something very, very, very wrong. Beefheart, Sir Trevor McD himself conceded that going for a 6-man fireball in the first half might have been bait and might have been a mistake, and otherwise it was just a case of the big orcs of Community Sports shoving around the smaller orcs of Beefheart's crew on the pitch. And that led to the people's champion, the troll of Beefheart and his merrymen, being niggled. And also, we see that on Community Sports, Kappa had to sacrifice his edgy to feed the stat freak, that is Craigasm, who got an edgy. Also, Kapow leveled, and he is now the last Black Orc to get his block. Very nice. Now he's not a big roadblock that can be pushed over easily anymore. Yeah. On the other team, Beefheart and his merrymen also not leveling up Quentin the Accountant so far. Well, he's your main guy, I would say, with the edgy up. Maybe also TurboKit, but TurboKit is just getting guard where it's needed with his speed. we will see. Also, it's sad times to see the People's Champion gone. Oh well. Next, Umi's Electric Boogaloo versus Stuff from My Fridge. That's going to be an admin win for Stuff from My Fridge. As we all know, Trident Execrata versus Tall Dwarfs with no AV. Deadman appeared once on Monday evening, once on Tuesday evening. That's a bit too late for a league that goes Thursday to Wednesday, I would say. So this game will also be admin, and I don't see it go any other way than to Trident Execrata. But last but not least, we have Sneaky Blinders versus the Sit Down Boys. And we see 15 armor breaks versus 9 armor breaks. Unfortunately, the 2 deaths are on the Sneaky Blinders side. And one of those deaths was John Shelby, the double-nickeled perfect killer from the Sneaky Blinders. 4th most experienced player of the division died to a foul after eating the Apo earlier in the game for a badly hurt. Yeah. But, and there I have to say, what a guy. Aromasin the Man is still with us. Yeah, it's sad times when you have to cheer for that. But MVPs went to Michael Gray, who got the MVP because he has some big shoes to fill, so he is better off starting immediately. He also threw 11 blocks in the game, which might have helped to sway the judges. On the other hand, Mr. Refill, what can we say about him? He survived the lightning bolt. And rumors say he is now even faster and even more annoying, because what is more annoying than movement 9, guard, strength, blotch, nerves of steel, everything. Yeah. What else can we say? Special mention goes out to Vladimir Kosmos, who succeeded 4 out of his 4 leaps. Normally a deadly endeavor, not this time. Also, very nice. Arthur Shelby, despite being really stupid and sometimes eating rerolls, prevented a worse result by collecting elves in his tentacles. Only James Workshop was able to escape his grasp. Yeah. Also, John Shelby's killer, Jonathan Wetlands, the second-hand thrower of the sit-down boys, got what was coming for him by getting a minus movement for his dirty deeds. And Lord Fluoride, the main thrower, the big thrower, the edgy 6 guy himself, he got KO'd and never came back, greatly reducing his chances to get the title best thrower of ReBBL a second time, I have to say. Yeah, only 110 meters passing so far. I know that Longbong Silver, for example, has already 158 meters. I think some of the other ones in the other regions have even higher numbers by now. So Lord Fluoride has to really step up his game if he wants to defend his title. Otherwise, Normally I'm very much prepared, but this time I forgot to look up whether we have level ups. Do we have level ups? We have... Shit. I could have saved the embarrassment. We have no level ups anywhere. So, with that, let's look at our leaderboard. And there we see Tridentum Execrata and the Sit-Down Boys still at the top of the table. Tridentum Execrata, how can you catch them if they only get bye weeks, you might ask? Well, we have our best Amazon team on the job next week. Let's see how they do. We have in third place Community Sport and Alt of Acrobata, both hot on the heels of the Sit-Down Boys in the Challengers Cup spot. We also see our missing teams going down even further. We see the first point for the Reds on the stick, almost on Sneaky Blinders level now. Goblins, unfortunately, going deeper down. And Stuff from My Fridge really, profiting from the bye week. Then let's go to the next matches for next week. We have Beefheart and his Merryman versus the Reds on the stick. The Reds on the stick missing an important piece in Orlando on the stick with a niggle. On the other hand, Beefheart and his Merryman also missing a very important piece with the People's Champion. I would say with only the one tackle and the Reds on the stick on a high, very much on a high, I would say this is the first win for the Reds on the stick. Now I have to say, well, how much do I expect them to win by? Well, guess what? It's a 2-0, because they are playing against Sir Trevor McD. Unfortunate for Sir Trevor McD, but that's how he rolls. Then, next up, we have Stuff from My Fridge versus the Baltimore Ravens. Stuff from My Fridge looking very nice with tackle, with a killer, even someone to handle the ball. And we also know Cake likes to snatch up people. Especially Amazons, but also we have 2 Witch Elves again, so maybe Cake wants to get frisky with those. I would say on paper, Stuff from My Fridge looks very nice compared to the Baltimore Ravens, who look just a little bit lacking. But that's the Dark Elf way. If you don't even need a bench, and you have 1750 with what you have here. Yeah. Will Stuff from My Fridge be able to... to stop the elf bullshit? I would say not quite. Should really prepare beforehand for that, so that this does not take as long for me to think. But I would say that's a draw, 1-1. Yeah, don't think more of that. Next one, we have a bye week for Out of Acrobata, so that's an easy one. Next up, Sit Down Boys versus Valakaz Ass Kickers. Jonathan Wetlands is a goner for this one, so no kick for the Sit Down Boys. But Lord Fluoride might want to show Blasco Quítate el Casco how passing is done. Though, in the last few games, the Beastman actually succeeded more passes than Lord Fluoride. So maybe it's Blasco who shows Lord Fluoride how to not get KO'd this time. Yeah, we have a fully leveled Chaos team that is still lower in value than the Sit Down Boys. We have Roman Supernova with his AV6, otherwise mostly AV7 on the board. Despite having some stat freaks, I don't actually fancy the Sit Down Boys' chances in this one. Though the Valakaz Ass Kickers were the first to succumb to the Reds on a stick, but that was after a terrible first half, and afterwards 28 armor breaks against the Reds on a stick. Yeah, that's all you've got to say. Yeah, now it's a question, can they remove the Sit Down Boys before the Sit Down Boys score? And here is what I just realized. We have no tackle, and I would not go first skill tackle on a Beastman. So we will not have tackle. We will only have a prehensile tail. And that means, yeah, that means to me, the sit-down boys will be able to score before the Velocis ass kickers will turn them to shreds. And that's why I say 3-2 for the sit-down boys. Also here, if this happens, because Deadman sometimes appears. What did I just do? I pressed enter. Anyways, if this game really happens, then I will say it's a 1-3. But most likely I will just cancel this one, because it's most likely a bye week. Then, off to Sneaky Blinders versus the Bootleg All-Stars. Goblins versus Goblins. Though these ones have some reds with them. And these ones have more trolls. And a Pogua. And a Loony. And a Fanatic. And these ones lack their killer now. Still, lots of inducements for the Bootleg All-Stars. Probably Fungus and 2 bribes. Maybe. We do have the really nice troll, which is especially, it's very incredible against all these strength 2 goblins. But that's all I think the Sneaky Blinders have going for them in this game. I mean, Michael Gray is nice and all, but he's no real killer. Finn Shelby is almost on the same level as him for this game. And we have a lot of AV7, and we have Loony, and we have Fanatic, and we have a Bombardier. Yeah, this might be one of the games for the Bootleg All-Stars. If they manage to do Goblin stuff, then the Sneaky Blinders will very much have problems. On the other hand, Sneaky Blinders have the speed against most, with the Skaven against most everyone except for Slapper Forehead and Borax as a disposable. Still, no. I'm going to tip Goblins. I'm going to tip Goblins 2-1. Next one. Tridentum Execrata versus Umweltschützerinnen. Yeah. Umweltschützerinnen looking still like the stat freaks they are, but the fully leveled team of Tridentum Execrata with the incredible werewolves and the very credible whites and good flash golems. Yeah, they got everything, and especially they have a dirty player. And here we have the freakiest stat freak of all missing. I don't see the Umweltschützerinnen doing anything. We only have 2 tackle, which is all I can say against Tridentum Execrata. But Vastator alone, he normally rakes up more blocks than there are turns in a game, so he will destroy this team. So I will say, will the Umweltschützerinnen score? I don't think so. So I give this one very much to Tridentum Execrata. It's their game to lose. 3-0, I would say. And here, yeah, this one is just, I will just cancel it almost immediately. So, submit button. How is the leaderboard looking? We have Balterplop of the Baltigore Ravens in the lead now. And Lord Brainlord even well, somewhat far behind, but maybe he can catch up if he finally decides to tip for himself. You're on the second in the league. You win more games than you lose. You should have some form of faith in your team. See how many people already tip, because I saw that you guys want to. Oh, yeah. I did not close tipping, so I have no idea who tipped. Yeah. Anyway, going back to our recap, and we go to the last point of the week. We go to the awards of week 5. As you can see, we have 4 awards again. We have Run Forest Run, which goes to Slapper Forehead, the pogo of the bootleg All-Stars, with 102 meters running with the ball, or hopping, or boinking with the ball. Anyway, that's a lot of meters, especially on those short legs that he didn't use because he was hopping across. Anyway, next up we have Killer Instinct, which goes to Rip-Off. This guy is getting all the awards. 11 blocks, 8 armor breaks, 3 KOs, and 1 inflicted casualty. We had people who did more casualties, we had people who did more kills, but overall this one removed the most players from being able to play the game. So Rip-Off gets a Killer Instinct award. Next up, ooh, gross. Last week it went to the whole team of the Umweltschützerin. This time Mark the European takes it for himself because he tried to escape the tentacles 4 times and failed every time. I mean, yeah, maybe he liked the troll very much. And last award for this week, it's One Punch, going to Ridland, the now retired lineman of the Baltimore Ravens, because he threw 2 blocks. One was a knockdown and an immediate kill. I call that efficiency, and technically 2 punches, but 1 punch. And yeah, for someone who never actually got to level, getting 2 awards after in 2 weeks is a very, very nice feat. And that's it for this week. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you next week. Goodbye.